was hoping so much for a sunny afternoon today because I have just been dying and craving like a little day out in the sun at the park, like by the water, maybe even watch like a sunset. And I was really hoping to do that today because my partner is out of town this weekend and I just wanted to do something really nice like that for myself. But unfortunately it is raining so heavily today. It's actually kind of been raining pretty heavily like all summer long. So our weather is definitely getting more tropical. But since I can't really be outside, I am going to try and take advantage of getting some things done. I do gotta go to the store today. I gotta go to the cat store and I gotta go to Menards to get a few things. This past month, my mother-in-law has been staying with us. And that's actually why my partner is out of town, because he just went back with her to where she lives for just like a couple of days to help her get settled back in over there after being gone for so long. So I think I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that no one's in the house today, and so I'm going to do a nice little mix of chores and getting some things done and cleaned up that we've kind of had sitting out for her, but then also make sure that I do some nice cozy little things for myself today too. Some of my friends are doing a little collab Fortnite stream, so I definitely want to get going to the store and run my errands soon so I can make it back in time for that, because I would really love to join in on the fun, even if it's just for a couple of rounds. I was really hoping the weather would hang on today, but it didn't, so I've got to get some stuff done. I have been running low on the Danessa Myricks Yummy skin tint that I've been using for the majority of this year, and then basically like half of last year as well too. So I got this Merit like skin tint, I guess, stick. They kind of like don't really advertise it as a concealer or a foundation, just sort of like a general cover up. I've been using it all over and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty obsessed with it. It's a new favorite. It's also just so easy. I love not having to like squeeze like foundation or concealer onto the back of my hand and do it that way. I love just like swiping this on. I find so often that foundation sticks or concealer sticks can be pretty drying on me, or at least pull on my skin texture, and this really has not been doing that. I'm currently using the color Sandstone, and I'm not gonna lie, it might be one of the best skin tone matches I've probably found like in a while. It even uses underneath my eyes. Didn't feel like wearing very much today. Just a single color, kept it basic, didn't take me too long. Errands are done. I have been fed. I ate lunch. Got a couple things I needed at the grocery store to help me get through the weekend until my partner gets back. I got the Ren Fair tickets because I'm going to be going to the Ren Fair in a couple of weeks with some friends, actually some Twitch friends. I'm really excited. We're gonna have such a good time. And then I went by Ulta and I got a couple things. For some fun, I got this really cute Miffy hand lotion. I am running out of my lotion on my desk anyway, and this was just too cute. I grabbed this moisturizer from Dear Cloud. I haven't used this one before. The only thing I've ever actually tried from this brand has been lip glosses and things like that I got from some other shops. But this has niacinamide in it, and I don't know, I'm trying to work on a little bit of my texture and some of the redness that I have on my skin. And so I figured I would give this a go. It's also like a little bit lighter than my current daytime moisturizer moisturizer, and I'm going to be shifting my daytime moisturizer to my evening time moisturizer. I grabbed this rice exfoliating enzyme cleanser from Tony Moly. I do not exfoliate. I used to exfoliate a lot more when I was younger because I had much more oily skin. And now that I've been in my 30s, I'm like, I try to be more gentle with my skin. I don't want to overdo how much stripping and exfoliating that I'm doing, especially because I do have some light rosacea and I know that it can irritate it. But there was one product that I used to use all the time, and it was the Tatcha rice like enzyme cleanser. You guys know what I'm talking about. It comes in that cute little ass jar. I loved that thing, and I would use it every single day during a time when my skin could handle that every day. Obviously, I'm not going to repurchase that as much as I had loved it when I did, because that shit is just too expensive. It's like, it was already expensive when I was first buying it, but it was like $50, and then it would last me like 2 whole months. Like it with every single day use. Obviously, if you are not using it daily, it would last you a little bit longer. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be using that much of it. Okay, because I probably want to start off gentle like once or twice a week, and I'm not going to pay that much because it is ridiculously expensive now. So I looked up some alternatives and some dupes for it, and a lot of people were recommending this one. And then just because I'm on my own for the weekend, I grabbed myself a couple of like cute little collagen masks. These are just like the Anua ones. They were there on the display with everything. This is the rice ceramide, so this one is for glow, and then this one here is the heart leaf, and that is for soothing. Definitely gonna do one of these tonight, and I'm gonna save the other for, I don't know, maybe I'll do 2 this weekend. Maybe I will do one a couple days, maybe next week. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm definitely gonna treat myself to doing a little mask tonight because it will be really nice. At this point, my friend is playing Fortnite on her stream, so I think I'm gonna pop in there and go say hi and hang out. And then when I'm done, we have some house things that we are gonna do before we kind of relax and wind down and enjoy an evening alone tonight. I am thinking that I want to watch a movie. I haven't played since we played that one night, Allie. Yeah, I'm with you. Fortnite with friends was so much fun. What a nice little break after doing some of the things I had to do today. Afterwards, I just did a bunch of things in the kitchen. I cleaned up food that in the fridge I knew was no longer going to get eaten because my mother-in-law is not in town anymore. Decluttered some things like along the counters that were just kind of in the way. And now I've just been sitting in my big chair and I've been reading a little bit. Started up Evil By. Evil By. I feel like I should make that my new username. I'm reading Evil Eye by Etaf Room, not Evil By. So far, so good. I literally just dipped into the 3rd chapter, so I'm not that far into it. Really enjoying it. I'm really liking her writing style a lot. A quick little blurb on it. So this is a best-selling author of A Woman Is No Man, which I haven't read that book, haven't heard of it. But she returns with a striking exploration of the world of a Palestinian American woman, the meaning of a fulfilling life, and the ways our unresolved past affects our present. And so far, it is definitely giving me the vibe of just like what it means to kind of like make your own life. Because she seems to have not a super great relationship with her mother-in-law currently. And then I'm sure, and basically just like the expectations of her and her responsibilities, quote unquote, as a wife and a mother, and then kind of reconciling that with the fact that she loves working at the college that she's working at, and doesn't want to give that up, even though she's kind of being pressured to by outside forces. I definitely think it's going to be right up my alley. I think it's going to mean a lot to me, and I think I'm going to relate to it very, very heavily. I ended up reading and diving into this book because I recently decided I was going to DNF this book here. Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell. I'm so disappointed. I really wanted to like this book. I decided to DNF it about the 45 to 50% marker. It's a sapphic romance, but like one of them is a monster, like a shape-shifting monster, and then the other one is a human, and you kind of like learn that her and her family have this history of like trying to track down these monsters and like kill them. So it was very much like this really cool enemies, unknown enemies to lovers sort of trope. And then it's romance and it's monsters, and there's a little bit of horror and like graphic horror along with it, and it literally seems like it would be right up my alley, but unfortunately the writing is just not pulling me in. I gave it a really good chance, and I couldn't do it. I originally thought it was gonna be a little bit more like horror book with a smidge of romance, which I kind of expected to be maybe a little bit more, and like The Salt Grows Heavy, if any of you guys know that book, but it really wasn't. And it really is truly like more romance with a smidge of horror. And the horror, I feel bad because I feel like the romance writing is a little bit cheesy. And I know sometimes it's just kind of the point with romance. Like, I love cheese, okay? I love cheese. I love yearning. I love it. It's just, this wasn't my kind of cheese. You know, maybe this is more of a Swiss and I needed a pepper jack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Something else that really turned me off was that there was a lot of like therapy speak and therapy talk in the book, which it just didn't feel like it was fitting into whatever was going on. It's a fiction book, so I realize you can kind of just insert that stuff. You don't have to be limited in it. Unfortunately, it pulled me out of the story too much, and I couldn't vibe with it. I couldn't. Glad I made the switch though, because I'm already enjoying this other book so much better. It's so much more up my alley. Thankfully, the storm has passed, which is great. That feels awesome. But I know that there's going to be a lot of mosquitoes and stuff out right now, but I still kind of want to enjoy the sunshine. But I think I'm just gonna pull my book out, continue to read from my back porch. Last night I watched the movie Fantastic Planet, and it's a French animated film that came out in like 1973. It's basically about like these human-like figures called Ohms, and how they are trying to survive on this planet with like these blue aliens called the Drags. Basically just like their tough survival, how they're being treated like pets and vermin, and how they're being hunted and cleansed, okay, and everything. And it was so chilling and creepy and sad, but also really beautiful. And the soundtrack was just absolutely amazing. It was completely harrowing for the times that we are seeing, not just right now, but also within our own history in the US. And I would even go so far as to say the kind of history you would see anywhere with colonialism and genocide and things like that. It was really heavy, so I would know that before going into it, but it was an incredible movie. Honestly, might be so far one of my favorite films that I think I've seen so far this year.